Hey there, and welcome. You hear these terms thrown around all the time in the business world, B2B and B2C. They sound kind of technical, but they're actually super simple ideas that explain two totally different ways companies operate. So what do they really mean? Well, in this explainer, we're going to break it all down. Let's get right into it.
So, here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll do a quick warm-up on what a business even is. Then, we'll dive into selling to people, which is B2C. After that, we'll switch gears and look at B2B, when companies sell to other companies. Then we'll put them side by side to see the key differences. And finally, we'll talk about why this whole thing actually matters.
All right, let's kick things off with Section 1. Before we can really get into B2B and B2C, we've got to make sure we're on the same page with a couple of basic words. What we mean by business, and who exactly is a consumer.
Okay, so first things first. Let's ask a really simple question. What is a business anyway? We see them everywhere, but what's the actual definition?
It's actually super simple. A business is just a company that either makes stuff or sells stuff. So a big factory that builds cars is a business, and you know what? So is the little corner store that sells you a bottle of water.
And who buys all that stuff? Well, that would be the consumer. A consumer is just a person who buys things for themselves. And guess what? That's you. Every time you buy your lunch or a ticket to the movies, you're being a consumer. Okay, so we've got our business and our consumer. Now let's see what happens when they get together. We're going to start with B2C, because this is the one you're a part of every single day. B2C. It just stands for business to consumer. All it means is that a company is selling its product or its service directly to a person, like you, for you to use yourself.
Let's make this really easy. Picture this. A company bakes a biscuit. You walk into a store, you're a little hungry, and you buy that one biscuit for yourself. Boom. That's a perfect B2C transaction. Simple, right? A business sold something straight to you, the consumer.
Great. So that's B2C. Now let's flip the script and talk about the other side of things, B2B. This one's a little different because the customer isn't a person like you, it's a whole other company. And you've probably already figured it out. B2B stands for business to business. Yep, it's just one business selling its products or services to another business. So let's go back to our biscuit factory. But this time, instead of making just one, imagine they bake a massive batch of 1,000 biscuits. Now, a local grocery store comes along and buys all 1,000 of them. That sale, from the factory to the store, is a B2B transaction. The store isn't going to eat all those biscuits. No way. They bought them so they could sell them to their own customers later on.
Okay, so we've got business to consumer and business to business. Now let's really dig in and put them head to head to see what really makes them so different from each other.
This little table breaks it down perfectly. So for B2C, who's the customer? It's just one person. But in B2B, it's a whole other company. And the sale size? Well, in B2C, it's usually pretty small, right? Just one item, like our biscuit. In B2B, it's way bigger. Think a ton of items. And that last part, how long it takes? A B2C sale is super fast, happens in minutes. But a B2B deal? Wow, that can take days, weeks, or even months to figure out.
And if you want to see that difference in a picture, check this out. That tiny little bar, that's our B2C sale. Maybe it's worth a couple of bucks. That giant bar next to it, that's the B2B sale, which could be thousands or even more. This massive difference in value is so important, and it changes everything about how these companies work.
So we've talked about the what, but now for the so what. I mean, why should you even care about the difference between B2C and B2B? Well, it actually matters a lot. Let's jump into our final section and find out why.
Honestly, knowing this is like having a secret decoder ring for the business world. It just helps you understand how different companies are set up and how they make their money. It also opens your eyes to all these different kinds of jobs that happen behind the scenes in that B2B world. Once you know what you're looking for, I promise you'll start seeing these two models everywhere.
So here's a little challenge for you. The next time you walk outside, just look around. That local coffee shop, that's a B2B business for sure. But what about the company that sold them their giant fancy espresso machine? Or the farm that supplied their coffee beans? That's the B2B economy humming along right there beside it. So how many of each can you spot?